Okay. So there's going to be a lot of ego trading that can happen sometimes. Sometimes pride can get in our way, and we're pretty much just going to get into the logical, neurological, brain receptor reasons why. Okay. So sometimes in trading, we can experience ego, pride, just a lot of pain, might just be crashing out, doing unnecessary things. But once again, swing trading is going to be the big counter to revenge trading. Okay, because when you guys are scalping, day trading, taking setups every single day, taking setups constantly, it's very, very hard to maintain a sense of consistency. It's very, very hard to maintain a sense of, okay, I'm okay with losing every other day. You're not really going to be okay with that. You're going to want to be winning your trades. You're going to want to be being profitable. You're going to want to be being successful. But a lot of you guys are futures prop firms traders, and that's the only reason why you're scalping. Okay, the most profitable traders are going to be from the US stock market and crypto. Okay, I'm not saying that there's not be money to be made on futures, but if you're going to swing trade, you do need a lot of margin on there. Forex is also good for swing trading as well, but I know my US traders can't swing trade that due to the leverage. So option swing trading and crypto swing trading, in my opinion, are going to be the best to maximize profit within the markets. Okay. So revenge trading is going to be a big emotional trigger and it can cause a lot of risky behaviors. So the reason why we completely swapped our entire market view and the reason why we only use the higher time frames once again, such as the daily and the 4 hour time frames to find our setups, is because revenge trading is going to be really hard to avoid when you're a smaller time frame, 5 minute, 15 minutes, something like that, scalper and stuff like that. Not only are you not really going to be trading the actual direction of the market, you might be just making scared trades that aren't going to be progressive. Okay. So, revenge trading, it can often arise from just the emotional response to losses, especially when you hit stop loss really, really fast. So, if you get stopped out really, really fast, your emotions a lot of the times are not going to be okay with that. You're going to be like, what? I just got in the trade and I already lost. That might bring in clouds of judgment that you're not good, you're not the best trader, trading's not for you. Just stupid emotions that might come into your brain. Okay. And that all comes from just hitting stop loss quickly. So this is why I recommend please use your higher time frames to trade only because you don't want to be hitting stop loss fast. That can lead to a multitude of destroying your account pretty much in a quick scenario in a way that you didn't expect to happen. Okay. Because you could be playing with amazing risk your first trade, but then say you hit stop loss, you didn't accept that trade. That turns into another loss, then another loss, then another loss. Next thing you know, you're starting the trickling trend of despair, of destroying your account. Okay. So this is why it's really important to make sure that we pray, eat healthy foods, just make sure we're not talking to people who are causing us high anxiety or stress. And we need to make sure our stress is as low as possible outside of the charts. Okay. Because as a trader, you may experience heightened stress. That's just part of what comes with it. And sometimes that can really cloud your judgment and make you make poor choices, especially if you're thinking financially. Money should never be thought about whenever you're in a trade. You should be thinking about your A plus setup, discipline, and the pure logistics of the chart. And then the money will come later, inshallah. Okay. So a Cambridge study found that losses significantly affect decision making, pushing traders to take risks. So losses, especially when it comes to two consecutive losses or losses over multiple days, you might just crash out sometimes, especially if you're a scalper. This is why I don't recommend scalping because if you lose too many scalps in a row, you might just put on one trade with way too much size, just doing anything on the block in and out, and you might just blow up your account entirely. Once again, the big fix to all of this is going to be swing trading. Okay. If you notice yourself crashing out, destroying your account within a couple of weeks, couple of days, you don't need to be scalping. It's not for you. And you need to recognize that these triggers can really help you develop healthier strategies to manage your emotions effectively. You got to really analyze yourself. Be like, okay, why am I over trading? Why am I crashing out? There used to be times when I would trade on prop firm before I got funded, etc., and stuff like that, before I knew how to do it. Um, Without like just getting destroyed, I would have to just put my keyboard in the closet and stuff like that to stop myself from over trading. Okay, so a lot of little things I had to do personally and you guys can just figure out what you need to do. I had to journal. I won't trade after one trade. Had to do a lot of psychological work in order to get to where I am today. So whatever you guys need to do, lock your keyboard up. Just stick to just a couple of setups at a time if you're a swing trader. But if you're a scalper, please do not be over trading. Please. So the brain's response to trading losses. So understanding how losses activate the amygdala, okay? That's going to be a piece of your brain that is reacted upon whenever losses do take place, okay? So the amygdala is going to help you explain and understand your emotional responses during life and during trading, okay? Stress hormones can surge, which then creates a dopamine craving, okay? That can lead to impulsive decisions. So once again, stress hormones surge, which then creates a dopamine craving that leads to impulsive decisions. Okay? As shown in the Kuhn and Knotson study. So you got to really recognize these triggers for crucial success and linear success. Okay? Sometimes some people are just putting down anything on the block, especially day traders, so used to coming back to the market, so used to just putting down size, so used to just taking a trade that like you sometimes can literally forget whether or not you're taking a quality setup just because you're so used to just putting risk down. But you need to rewire your brain, take a step back from the market. Someone who trades 1,000 times a year could potentially be less profitable than someone who trades 5 times a year. And most likely is less profitable than somebody who trades 5 times a year. Okay, so yeah, so because the 1,000 a year person could have lost like 700 of those, 600 of those. The 5 times a year could have won all of them, waiting for A plus setups with size. So if you lose 500, 600 of your trades, you're just destroying your account, and then your P&L is just doing a big seesaw instead of going up in the linear progression. Okay, and when your P&L is doing big seesaw, big loops like that, it's really hard to be emotionally contingent. It's hard to be logical, and it's hard to just make good decisions. Okay, so boom. So ego and trading behavior. This is why we pray to God about this, because this is something really only God can help you with. Some of you guys got to just really humble yourself, because the better you get as a trader, the more you're going to lose. So the better you get, it's not only the more profit you're going to make, but it's also going to be the more you're going to lose per loss. Okay. So when traders experience losses, okay, and understand the impact of status too. So whenever you lose, you have to literally say, forget what anyone else thinks. You can't think, oh, people are going to think I'm unsuccessful. People are going to think I'm gambling or whatever. Forget what anyone else thinks. This is between you and God. It's your own personal journey. You can't let anyone seep into your brain. No parents, no family, no friends, spouses, none of that. Just has to be God and you. Don't let people in unless you post and have a community. Just keep your P&L to you, because otherwise that can start status and ego trading, especially when you guys start getting on win streaks. You might just be trading off of the pure fact that you think you're going to win every single trade at some point, instead of sticking to pure A plus setups that you know you should be taking. There's been couple times where I've opened a setup and then looked at it a couple of times later and been like, I'm not too sure if this is actually the cleanest setup, just because I'm trading at a momentum instead of analyzing my A plus setups. So once I stopped doing that, my wins started becoming over 100% gainers pretty much every single time and started hitting big wins. Okay. So when traders experience losses, their ego can react defensively, which then it leads to revenge trading. It's pretty much a motion of, I cannot believe that I just lost, especially after a big win streak. You guys have to take it to the chest. You have to understand that the loss is pretty much inevitable, especially after you're farming bread from the market. Please take your loss. Just accept it. Because if you destroy all of your risk in one day, when the A plus setup does come, your account is not going to be healthy enough for you to take it. Or you're not going to have the size that you want to play with. Resetting your progress, and you're keeping yourself on the hamster wheel. So the more undisciplined we are as traders, the more we stay on the hamster wheel. That's just what it is. It's not a job. It's linear progression within yourself. We have to be trusting these setups. We have to be wanting these to work out, and we have to be waiting for the correct time to trade. Okay. So the emotional response of you not being wrong can often cloud your judgment. It'll create an illusion of control over the market outcomes. Sometimes you might just put on size, might just start scalping anything on the block, especially my futures and forex traders. You guys might just start swapping directions. Oh, I'm long now. I'm short now. I'm long here. I'm short here. Just swapping your bias every couple of minutes, destroying your account. This is why I say, please only trade on the daily and the 4 hour time frame. Use your higher time frames, because this way you guys aren't going to be caught within the illusion of thinking market is trying to pull one way or another. Okay, instead of seeing just the overall trend clearly the first time. So studies show that traders may take increasingly risky decisions to recover losses. This happens a lot. If you lose 500, the goal of your next trade is not to make back 500. The goal of your next trade is to stick to the A plus setup, is to be disciplined, is to stick to your exit criteria and make sure your entry is good. That's the goal of your next trade, not to make some bread. Your goal is to stick to your A plus criteria, stick to your discipline, and stick to your risk to reward. Not make money. That's not your goal. Your goal is to be disciplined and stick to criteria. Because you can make 7 figures in a day, but if you're undisciplined, you can easily lose it all within a week. Easily. Okay? So understand that trading is a serious game. This is for bosses here. You're gonna come here and call yourself a boss, and it's time to really just start moving and acting like it under all circumstances. Because just as quick as you can make all this profit, if you're undisciplined, or if you slip up, or if you catch a moment of weakness, you can just as quickly lose everything. So understand that this psychological dynamic is crucial for developing healthier trading habits and avoiding the pitfalls of revenge trading. Okay. So the impact of pride on trading. So pride, I'm really happy that you just understood that. Okay, it just reversed. You didn't get attached to P&L, because sometimes when we're attached to P&L, that can go ahead and cause pride in trading. Once again, money is attached to the survival aspect of life. So we're no longer killing lions, getting berries outside and stuff like that. So money is going to be our neurological survival mechanism that we know is in control of our survival, right? But this is where you have to detach and realize that God is in control of your survival. You could lose $1 million, you could lose everything, and you could run it up again and come back from zero. Okay? So as long as God wakes you up and gives you strength and you have the wisdom, the amount of money that you lose pretty much doesn't matter. So there should be no pride, no attachment, no nothing to the bread that you have into the market. This is why it's also important to stay within your risk to reward, 1 to 10% of your account if possible. And from there, pretty much just take your trades one trade at a time. And you can play a multitude of setups if you have some decent setups, and just wait for everything to hit take profit, and boom, keep playing in seasons. Okay. So let's go ahead and understand how pride can damage your trading decisions, and understand how crucial it is to remove pride from trading to improve your performance and overcome the disposition effect of it. Okay. So the disposition effect, let's talk about it. So traders often hold on to long losing positions due to pride, hoping for a rebound instead of cutting losses. So this is where the 0% stop loss rule comes into place for my options traders. So if your contracts are the stop loss, you're not going to have a disposition effect. You're not going to have any emotional attachments to the contract, because if it goes to 0, you were already happy with that. You were already conscious of that. You were already logical of that. So whatever your stop loss is, you need to be cool with that. When it gets hit, you need to let it get hit with a smile on your face, not crash out, not cry, not feel like I'm never going to make bread again. No, because price could honestly bounce a couple of days later and then you'll be right back in the profit. Okay. It's happened plenty of times. And that's where the emotional attachment just has to get out from trading. Okay. This attachment leads to poor performance. Market is going to fluctuate. It is not going to just go one direction. The direction that your trade is in is it's not just going to go straight up or straight down. It's never going to do that. There's going to be zigzags. Price action is going to fluctuate. P&L is going to fluctuate. So this is why I really recommend, please only look at P&L when it's time to close. Only look at P&L when it's time to close. Because if you get reversed on, you're going to be conscious of that. You're going to know, but you shouldn't even have known that. If you got in the setup and it's not a take profit yet, it's not a take profit yet. That's just what it is. Okay. Don't get attached to P&L. Don't get attached to P&L. Do not get attached to P&L. When you enter your trade, don't look at P&L. Until it's time to exit, do not look at profit and loss until it's time to exit your trade. Because if you do that, that can throw off your emotions. That can make you think like, oh man, you could be thinking like, man, I hope it goes back up. I hope it does this. Man, why didn't it keep going? Should I have closed? It's going to cloud your judgment. Instead of you just having your alert set at take profit, your phone goes off. Oh, hey, take profit got hit. Cool. And then you close. Okay. So make sure we're setting alerts at our take profits. Just focus on your entry and don't look at P&L before it's time to exit. Don't look at P&L before it's time to exit. Don't look at P&L before it's time to exit. That's going to ruin everything. So implementing disciplined trading strategies such as not looking at P&L until it's time to exit, setting alerts when it's time to exit, making sure A+ criteria is there, okay? All of these things can really help mitigate the effects of pride and improve the overall success within the markets, okay? It's going to help a lot. It's going to completely help a lot, okay? But we aren't going to get to that point if we are letting our judgment get clouded, okay? So the dopamine trap. So trading can cause a lot of dopamine. So sometimes even as swing traders, if you're just unloading in a bunch of different setups, sometimes that can be dopamine. Like, oh, I'm about to just unload and all of these are going to hit take profit. Sometimes that can cause a dopamine hit. If you notice yourself doing that, cap yourself out between 1 to 3 setups at a time. Okay. Winning trades provide, and if you're a scalper, cap yourself out between 1 trade a day. Okay. So winning trades provide a dopamine hit. Okay. That can really create an addiction to trading. That can make you think you're just slamming. That can make you think you're the best. And you probably are really good, but you can't lose yourself in trading. This is why it's really important to humble ourselves to God, because it's easy to lose ourselves here. Okay. So when we have this dopamine hit and trading addiction under control, okay, it's going to be a lot easier to get profitable. But especially in the beginning, especially if you're on futures, it's really easy to just keep clicking buy or sell, just getting in and out. It's really easy on futures, especially, to just destroy an account in a couple of seconds. Futures and forex. So because of the accessibility to just get in and out, options, you have to think a little more. You have to buy your strike price, think about the weeks. It's a little more that goes into it. So it's not as easy to blow up your account or make rash decisions on options, but it's definitely possible. But on futures and forex, be aware of that, because you can just click a button and be in and out. Okay. So this is going to reinforce risky behaviors. Be aware of this. And sometimes it can make traders more likely to take impulsive actions after a win, leading to potential losses, especially my futures and forex traders. Some of the stuff I see from you guys can be disgusting. Some of you guys might take a win and then you decide to take another trade that turns into a loss. And then your next trade again turns into a loss. Next thing you know, you're at 3 trades. And then next trade again, you oversize and then let it be a win, and then you're at break even. Just literally horrible seesaw of emotions. That's some of the worst trading of all time. And even though you managed to get back at break even, the way you just seesawed your emotions is not getting you better. Your discipline, consistency, and emotion should only be becoming more stable, not seesawing. So we're not here to chase bread. We're not here to chase bread from the market. We're here to be disciplined, be consistent, and be students of the game. Okay? So don't let loss aversion get to you too. Loss aversion is a psychological phenomenon where the pain of losing is felt more intensely than the pleasure of winning. Okay? So some of you guys, especially my futures traders, you guys might just be scalping away bread. And then when you win, it's not going to feel like anything because you're so desensitized to getting in and out. Instead of just only playing like, okay, this is the setup, this is A+, I'm playing this is what I want. You guys just literally take anything on the block and then you're just not profitable. Okay? So this can lead traders to hold onto losing positions longer than they should, increasing the risk of significant losses. Okay? So I don't want you guys literally taking losses for just no reason at all. Okay? I want you to be profitable and successful. And that's why it's important to just balance your emotions. Okay? Make sure outside of the charts, you're feeling good. Develop emotional control. It's going to be crucial for successful trading. Focus on praying to God, staying calm, eating clean, not being angry, not crashing out. Okay. Just focus on controlling your emotions and avoid revenge trading. Don't get attached to P&L. If you're the more attached to P&L that you are, the more you look at P&L when you trade, the more emotional you're going to be. That's going to be the number one tip I'm going to tell you guys from this video. The more you look at P&L, the more emotional you're going to be. So stop looking at P&L. P&L is going to induce dopamine, especially when the trade isn't even over. Please do not look at P&L before the trade isn't over. Don't do that. Especially on if you know what your stop loss is. You already know what you're going to lose. So why are you looking at how much you're making? It doesn't matter. Just close when take profit gets hit. Okay, set alerts. Close when take profit gets hit. So implementing techniques such as setting take profit targets with alerts and stop loss orders if you're a futures and forex trader can help manage the emotional impact of trading. After you get in, you should be pretty much hands off. Let the market do its thing. Okay, this is going to encourage disciplined trading and reduces the chances of revenge trading stemming from dopamine driven impulses. I don't want you guys making bad, horrible, crashed out decisions based on just a couple of moments of emotions. Okay. So, healthy trading habits to develop and maintain. So, number one, of course, we're going to pray. We're going to make sure that we're setting clear trading goals. Okay. And goals aren't just going to be profit wise. Goals can be, okay, do I stick to my criteria? Do I actually stick to my plan? Do I actually have a consistent sense of what I'm doing within the market? Okay. So you can set your goals like that. Not everything has to be monetary all the time. Okay. Stick to your trading plan. It's going to really increase your confidence, increase how you feel within the market. And especially once you guys start seeing some profit, you're going to be way more driven to stick to how you need to be trading. Okay. So it's going to limit your emotional decision making as well too when you start winning, getting consistent, and you're getting rewarded for being disciplined. Okay. So there's going to be a couple common pitfalls to avoid in trading too. Chasing losses blindly, especially my scalpers. Sometimes you guys can just come on here and just get destroyed. Sometimes my scalpers too. I see you guys over trading out of frustration. If your setup isn't working out, market just isn't ready. Market just isn't ready. This is why I like swing trading, because realistically, market is going to need time to do its thing. Okay, this is why I believe swing trading is going to be the best way, and this is why the most profitable people, billionaires, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figure traders, etc., are trading in long-term scenarios. Okay, and cool. StackMODE.net for all trading education, and I'll catch you with the next one.